welcome to another video of Another's Pilates at Home. Today's edition is for you if you're a runner, no matter whether you're a road runner, hill runner, track runner, whichever, you got the point. Running is a really fabulous cross training with Pilates because it's great in terms of helping with your endurance, with energy efficiency, with the way that you need to be breathing as well. It's fabulous with your core, your kind of stability around your pelvis and your control, as well as helping kind of balancing opposite muscles to help you kind of decrease risking any injury whilst you're running. So we'll go ahead, get ready, and then we can get started. Okie doke, so we'll start in standing, going in neutral position, so feet together, heels apart and toes apart. And what we're going to do to start with is shifting our weight towards the right side in order to lift our left side without dropping at the hips. Something that you might notice you doing in running is hip hitching, so dropping your hips at either side. So this is quite good to help around your control, your stability around that. So we're just going to do one more, doing it just like that. And then let's go ahead and switch sides. So shift your weight towards the left leg and then lift up, trying to keep in the middle around your pelvis and then back down. Do feel free to come back each time and reset if you need to. Trying to really engage your abdominals to keep you upright, nice and tall as well. So think about kind of the belly button getting tucked in the way as if you were putting some tight jeans on, and then the string pulling you up to the ceiling and looking at a static point at the opposite side to keep you nice and tall. If that's feeling challenging enough around your ankles, your stability and balance, stay at that. Otherwise what you can do is bring your arms forward as you come up. So shift the weight and come up, arms forward, and then come back down. And switch sides, arm forward and up, and back down. I'm going to keep progressing to different levels. Just pick the one that you're happy at, because obviously, especially the running population, everyone is quite different with levels. Breathe out on the effort, so coming up, and breathe in when you come back down. For the next level, you're going to bring your leg back the way when we go back. So coming up, arms forward, and then bringing the arms back the way, slide the leg back nice and tall, getting those hamstrings working a little. Coming up the way, and back with the hands, back with the leg, getting that knee stability also. And breathe out on the effort as the leg straightens back. Breathe in, come back. And switch sides. Another way you can do these as well to even challenge further is bending the leg that's staying straight. So as you're doing a kind of single leg squat, but that will challenge your knee support quite a bit. So just give that a go if you feel like you've got good control and that you need to progress on with that exercise. We're going to move on to the next one, and we're going to do a couple of toy soldiers. So for the toy soldiers, arms nice and straight, alternating sides. And we're going to go and do that with doing some lunges. So bending down, right leg forward, trying to really think about the alignment as much as possible between your knee and your foot, and arms nice and straight. And what you can do is little bounces at the same time. Just breathe out, breathe in, alternating. So just there, I'm doing breathe in for one, breathe out for two, because that's what I'm used to do with my running. So it's quite good to kind of do that, to get you used to a nice breathing pattern with your running, if you've not tried that before. Okay, let's go and switch sides. So find the alignment of your lunge first of all, bend down into your lunge, and then you can add your pulses. You start feeling your quads working quite hard. You're also getting the hips and the groin area mobilized nicely, as well as your thoracic spine your shoulder blades. One more. And coming back up. Just in standing there, we're going to go into clam. So you can pop your hands either around your ankle or around your knee, depending on the balance element. Your knee will point forward when you start, and then out when you go out. Breathe in, prep. Breathe out, out. Breathe in, come back. Adding arms forward and out to the side, giving a nice kind of squeeze between your shoulder blades when you come back there. You can even go higher up around the foot. Just choose where it feels comfortable and where you feel your balance getting controlled, challenged nicely as well, but not so much that you keep kind of having to reset yourself. So that's a great exercise around, again, your hip mobility, your stability, your balance, but it also gets your glutes kind of working in that position too. One more. And let's switch sides. It's coming up again at the ankle or the knee or higher, just wherever you're happy to control. Breathe in, breathe out. Balance coordination is such a big thing when you're running as well. Kind of your gait pattern. So all of these in standing are quite good for that. Squeezing the shoulder blades each time. Keeping your shoulders nice and relaxed. Breathe in, knee pointing towards you. Out, out the way. In, pointing forward. Out, out the way. One more. And back. And then relax. Just finishing with foot series. We come up on our toes and back down to start with. Okay. Up on toes, staying on toes, this time bending down, staying nice and tall, engaging abdominals, thinking of that strain, and then coming back up nice and straight, back down, breathe in, prep, out, come up, in, hold, out, down, in, hold, out, up, in, back down. And again. Trying to really challenge again the balance and getting the calf working there. And just go as low down as you can control for your balance. To come back up and back. Lovely. Just nice shoulder shrugs there. Shoulder rolls back the way. And shrugging up, shoulder to ears, hand out. Just one more, hand out. And we're going to go onto all fours, and the way to do that is to go into roll down to reach the floor. So for my roll down, bring my chin down to my chest, then my shoulders, and then rolling down nice and slowly, keeping knees a little bit soft, especially if you tend to be hyperextending. And then bringing your hands forward. And then when you're there, hands back down, bending those knees, coming onto hands and knees on all four. From there, just going to do a couple of cats and camels, looking down, making a nice big bowl, and then looking up, curving the lower back. And looking down, big bowl, breathe out, and breathe in opposite way. And now you're going to make that movement smaller until you kind of reach the 50-50 between the two extremities, which is your nice neutral flat table position on all fours. And from there we're going to go into leg pull prep. So trying to keep everything as flat as you can with your hands aligned with your shoulders and your head nice and long looking in between your hands. For the leg pull in front prep, you're going to pop your toes down the way. Carving your toes, you're going to lift your knee up the way, and then you're going to come back down. So what do you think about as a string kind of pulling you up to the ceiling from the middle of your back, but also a plateau of joints in your lower back with some liquid that you don't want to pull, so that you're not kind of rotating, dropping at either hips. Breathe out, come up. Breathe in, come back, trying to keep your bottom as well in alignment, don't let it creep up. Breathe out, up. Breathe in, back. One more time. If you're happy with that level, you can stay at that level. Otherwise, what you can do is pop your hands a little bit more forward in order to do your whole leg pull. So for that, coming up just the way you went, and then you shoot forward in a diagonal before you then bend back and come back down. Always finding your neutral as you need. Breathe in, prepare, breathe out, come up and shoot forward. And breathe in, come back down. This is also really great for strengthening your wrist, your upper body, your abdominals, and getting all those kind of opposite muscle groups working. If you're finding this still not challenging enough, what you can do is then slide one leg and slide it back. So you bend the leg towards your chest, then you slide it back before you come back. If you are doing it that way, the breathing is breathe out, come up and shoot forward, breathe in, hold, out one leg, in, back, out other leg, in, back, and come back down. So just stay at the level you're happy at, taking your time, resting as you need. Go ahead and make the next one your last one. And then when you've done that, just dropping down your chest to your knees with your hands forward into your shell stretch. And then you're just going to walk your hands toward the right hand side in order to stretch the opposite side, so that whole latissimus dorsi of your spine. So a great stretch to do if you feel a bit of stiffness around your thoracic spine, your shoulder blades. And then just switch sides. And come back. We're going to drop on our stomach. And there you're going to bring your hands forward. And you're just going to rest on your forehead. But feel free to have kind of a pillow, a towel around your forehead if you don't like the sensation of the nose getting squished. And from there we're going to go into swimming level 3. So we're going to alternate arms and legs, sliding as if we're getting them pulled away from our body, and lifting up just a few inches and coming back. Along the way, switching sides and back, keeping your head nice and relaxed. Breathe out as you slide and up. Breathe in as you come back. So you should feel again the opposite muscle groups working, that kinematic chain, and your hamstrings working, and your hip getting that nice stretch at the front as well. And to make this more difficult, you can also do it on all fours. So stay at that level if you're happy with that. Otherwise on all fours, sliding it up. And just making sure that your neck is nice and long, looking in between your hands, and that you're not dropping at the hips at either side. So you very much lengthen it up. And same for the breathing. Out as you slide, in as you come back. So whichever level that you're at, let's make it one more on each side. And let's go and relax it there. We're going to roll onto our back. And we're going to start with shoulder bridge. For the neutral position on your back, making sure your back is nice and flat. So you can go ahead and do a couple of pelvic tilts where you roll your footward and back away at your pelvis like a bucket handle. And then it's a 50-50 between these two. Back nice and flat, just a space for kind of 2 fingers or an imaginary blueberry. For your feet, feet together, heels apart and toes apart, maintaining that little space in between your knees. We're going to roll back the way and then coming up the way, squeezing your bottom muscles, lifting all the way up to the ceiling. Thinking of a harness this time, lifting you upwards the middle and then coming back down. So just really watch that you're not dropping at either side of your hips, your pelvis there. Controlling the movement, breathe out coming up and breathing back down. This is one of my favourite exercises for the runners. It's really great getting all the muscles groups working, getting that control stability, working your abdominals, your glutes, your hamstrings, your quads. So I'm going to show you level 2, and you just stay at the level that you're happy at, and whichever level you're at, you can make it harder by crossing your arms around your body to make it a bit more challenging around your balance. So coming up the way for the level 2, the right leg then comes nice and straight in line with the other knee, and then comes back to where the other leg is to then come back down. And breathing out, coming up, and breathing in to hold, out, leg straight, in, leg back, out, back, down. If you are doing it that way, just really watch that you're not dropping either side. Whichever level you're at, really working the glutes, really making sure they're engaged, your abdominals are engaged and you're lifting as high up as you can. And your neck is nice and relaxed. And then go ahead and come back down. Moving on to scissors, you're going to bring one leg up into what we call tabletop position, keeping your back nice and flat and your knees kind of bent to that 90-degree angle. Bringing the second leg up to double tabletop position by kind of doing a sweeping motion of that heel to that bottom to lift it up to be able to engage your abdominals. So if you just lift it up, your abdominals won't be fully engaged. Making sure your back is still nice and flat and that your knees are not too close to your body, that again, it's not working your abdominals. And then one leg's going to come down to the floor and then back up to that tabletop. Other leg down and back. And you just choose the speed and your breathing is going to match your speed. So there, my speed, I breathe out for 2 and in for 2. Make sure you always come back just to that tabletop position, that you're not shooting up towards the ceiling. And you can go ahead there and come into abdominal prep as well, doing it that way to progress on, getting your abs and working a wee bit harder there as well. And keeping your neck nice and long, thinking of that fit between your chin and your chest. So I will show you that again, how to do your abdominal prep, thinking of the ribs kind of sinking down the way, lifting you up. So it's not my neck pulling me up, very much my rib cage sinking down, my abs bringing me up. And back is still nice and flat. And we're going to come back down there and just reset ourselves. Stay at that level if you're happy that's challenging you enough. Otherwise, what you can do is straighten your legs and do it that way with the legs nice and straight, neck still as long as possible. And you're just kind of alternating the legs straight, bringing the knees to you. Same thing, breathing to the speed that you can control. So out for 2, in for 2 for me. You can go a wee bit slower and just alternate that way. Just stay at the level that you're at, making it 1 more on each side. And then go ahead and come back down, bring your knees down to your chest there for a little rest. Bringing side to side a little. We're going to finish off coming onto our side into side kick. So for that, thinking about being nice and aligned on our hip, on the bony bit of the lower leg. If you're not sure, you can roll forward and back, and you should feel yourself on that bony bit. You might feel you falling forward, but that's you in that position if you've not been used to it before. Hand at the front in kind of a meringue shape, so you are not kind of stabilizing up with your upper body. And from there, you lift the leg up the way, thinking of it getting lengthened, so foot away from your body, and then up to that hip height, and then coming forward and coming back behind you, making sure that you don't fall back the way with your back, so you're staying very much in that hip position. Your toes point as you come forward, looks at you as you come back. Breathing out forward, in, back. So just staying at that hip height level, think of yourself gliding on an imaginary table. If you want to make it more difficult, then just pop your hand on your waist, and it will again challenge that stability element more. And just do come back down and reset yourself if you need at any point. Breathe out forward, in, back, making sure that we are not dropping, so that knee shouldn't start kind of pointing forward the floor. Staying in that nice table position, forward and back. And you should start feeling again the front muscles, your quads working, around your hips as well, and your hamstring kicking in when you go back, and perhaps your calf muscles a bit as well. Should not feel this too much in your lower back. If you are, then just really watch that you're not rolling back a lot. You can do that by your mirror, film yourself doing it if you're not sure around your control. Make the next one your last one, and just come back down and go ahead and switch sides. So lengthening nicely again, making sure you're on your hips, find that bony bit. Hand at the front in that meringue shape, and then leg away from your body and up, and then toes pointing forward, leg coming forward, toes pointing at you, leg coming back. Staying at that hip level, breathing out forward, in, coming back, and at any point feel free to pop your hand again around your waist to challenge the balance more. Thinking of that imaginary wall behind us, so we are very much staying nice and stable, gliding on that table. Let's just make it one more on each side, and then coming back down. And back up you come. And that is us, well done. I hope that you have enjoyed today's session. Please feel free to do the cool down, the 5 minutes cool down video to kind of stretch your legs and things there if you need to. If you have enjoyed, then please like, comment and subscribe, and I hope to see you again quite soon for another video. Bye bye just now.